Francés, and we're gonna make it here at home. So you will have some white bread. It's super good. So I hope that you hang with us. Okay. We have white bread or pan francés, which is how we call in Torreón, and it's very easy. It's 2 cups of warm water, and then we have 6 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of dry instant yeast, and half a tablespoon of salt. Okay, so remember, first thing, wash your hand, get everything ready, mise en place, everything in place. Turn on your oven to 350. The first thing that you want to do is have the warm water. Remember, it has to be warm because you need to activate the yeast. Once you combine the sugar with the water, remember, sugar is going to be the food for the yeast to start working. So then as your dry yeast and with a whisk, make sure to incorporate all that yeast into the sugar water. And this is the first step that you want to do. Okay, so mix it well. We're going to set it aside once you dissolve all the yeast into the warm water.
And the sugar.
Okay, so remember, it cannot be scorching hot because then it's going to kill. Yeah, you will kill the yeast. We don't want to kill it.
So we're going to put this one in a warm place. So the best place to put it is on top of the oven.
Yeah, so Susana is going to take that away, and then we start with the flour and the salt. Okay, so I'm going to put 5 cups of all-purpose flour into the stand mixer, and then we're going to use the hook. Okay, so you put the hook in there, and then you add the salt to give it a little bit of flavor. While you wait till the yeast and the water gets a little bit activated, just start mixing it very, very slow. Very important, we're gonna start with 5 cups of flour. We're waiting for the yeast to activate a little bit, and we're gonna try to make this as quick and easy as possible. While we wait on the yeast, remember, we put 5 cups of flour here, and then we're gonna measure another cup of flour. I'm gonna show you the correct method, or at least the method that we use to measure flour. So you want your cup, and then you will need a spoon. Remember, flour, you don't measure it by pressing the flour into the cup.
You will pack it, right?
You will pack it, and it will be too much flour.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is just put your cup, and then kind of like put the flour.
Like so fluffy.
Like so fluffy, yeah, this is so fluffy, that's correct. So once you have it like that, use the handle of the spoon to swipe it out, and here you have the other cup of flour. Okay, so now this is mixing. How we're doing with the yeast?
It's good. Now it's like nice and frothy. You can see like it has all these bubbles. That you know here that the yeast is alive.
Exactly.
So
if this mix is just a plain with
watery.
watery and with no froth, then it means that your yeast is dead and you need to replace that one. Once you're gonna add the liquid to your mixer, you don't want an explosion. So do a fountain. Just move the flour all to the sides of your mixer, and then you add the water. Okay.
Have you thought about doing a cookbook?
This in no way is intended to be a class or a tutorial. This is just us having fun in the kitchen and doing what we love. So here I'm gonna show you, this is what I'm talking about. When your yeast is active, it will be just like so fluffy. So then you add the water. It's very important when you use your stand mixer to do bread and use the hook, never put the speed of your mixer more than 4. You don't want to burn your mixer or break your hook. So we start by doing it slow.
And if you don't have a stand mixer like this one, you can do it on the table. Like you just spread all your flour and you make like a well, and you put the yeast mixture in the center, and you just start like incorporating it until you have a nice dough and kneaded.
We're gonna start scraping it, so everything starts getting together, and it's just waiting till it gets together. Probably it's gonna take about 10 minutes once everything gets started. You wanna give it its time. You don't wanna rush it. Bread, you never rush it. I'm gonna start to crank it up a little bit so it start getting more flour and more flour. Every time that it turns, it grabs a little flour, so it does exactly the same thing as you will do when you were doing it by hand on the table. So now that you see that it has a little bit of consistency, you can go up to 4, and that when the good stuff start happening. So now we're gonna put it on 4. Remember that we want to activate all that gluten that is on the dough to make it fluffy and elastic, okay? Good. Remember that we still have our 1 cup of flour left, okay, that we're gonna keep on adding. And this, since you started, it has to remain like that for at least 10 minutes.
Okay, so I think now we can start adding a
Yeah,
little
so
bit
then
of the flour.
put it down, or bring it down just to stir, and then start adding a little bit of the flour, so it will grab it and it start releasing the dough. You will see how it's starting to become a ball, and once it becomes a ball, it's gonna start smashing it on the sides of the mixer.
No, it's like bread, it's all around like
Exactly.
flour.
I mean, if you're gonna do bread, you're gonna have a little bit of flour flying around.
Okay, so it's almost all together and it's going to start.
Yeah. So now that you have all the flour, you see how it's gonna start grabbing all the flour together, and it's gonna start smashing, and you're gonna hear it, okay?
It's perfect. Look at this. And he used almost all the flour, so
Yes.
yeah.
Just gonna give it a couple of more minutes. I'm gonna clean the table here because I'm gonna start kneading the dough over here, so you will see how it's done. And then
We'll have to portion it and do the rest.
portion it and do the rest.
It's almost there. Like,
It's almost. Yeah, remember, once you start, be patient. Don't pull it out prior of those 10 minutes. It's very, very important. Every turn that the hook makes on that dough, it activates the gluten. It kind of like stretches the dough and make it flexible. So when you do the bread, it will have room to rise, okay? And send your questions and comments are very, very important. If you want to learn how to do something, and not too much learn, I mean, if you just want to know how to make something, and it's something that Susana and I do, just send your questions, send your comments. We're always looking for ideas.
and we're going to show you like easy recipes and easy candies to make at home, and they're still really
Yeah, so don't be afraid of chocolate. Our next video, if we don't have any other suggestions of you, we would like to do chocolate truffles.
Okay,
Okay, so I think that it's about time.
Okay.
You can add a little bit more of flour. Okay, so then you have to feel your dough. Okay, it has to stick, but then not like glue. So when it's like this, you just add a little bit of flour, just one tiny bit more. Amor.
Like this.
There you go. So you can grab it. Okay.
And then that dough, we're gonna leave it in a warm place to rest.
Till it double in size. Okay.
Like around, how long do you think? Like 20 minutes?
I think like 20 minutes.
And it have to be
will
covered.
enough.
We use this one on top, so it will rest and it won't make like a dry crust on top. And then, or you can put saran wrap.
Ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want, we can pull out the one that we have out there. In the meantime, we can leave this one to rest.
Yeah, but I'm gonna show them that prior of giving it to rest, remember that you gotta kneel it a little bit,
Yeah.
and then just bang it a little bit more.
Yeah, with the help of flour.
Yeah, flour is your friend here.
And what you want to do is just like fold it and start making it like a round shape, right?
Exactly. So just fold it, move it, and bang it. Yeah, it's gonna get messy here, okay? But it smells amazing. Okay, so try just to put it through the center, okay? And then bang it. Put a little bit more flour.
And this is how you activate all the goodness in the flour and the gluten. I'm gonna move this one away.
Okay, so one that you bang it a couple of times, and then you see the consistency of your ball getting together without sticking too much. Okay, so now we're gonna need where to put it. Oh,
Here we can put it back in here.
okay, so then we will put it back in there, and then cover it and let it rise a little bit. Okay.
Okay, so let me just get the one that we have. Okay, so this one is half of the recipe that we just made. So imagine this double. So, and it smells super, super good.
Okay, so now that we have it here, we're gonna do exactly the same as we did over there. Remember that it has already double in size. Whenever that it gets sticky, just grab a little bit of flour and put some flour in there, okay? Don't be afraid. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna make it into bowls. So then we're gonna do 90 grams, which is 3.2, 3.25 of 3.25 ounce, okay? And then Susana is gonna tell you the proper technique of making these little balls, okay?
So now we don't need the flour here, so I'm gonna clean it a little bit. So we have the 90 grams, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make them like into a ball, like so, like this. And then the seam, you put it face down, and then you're going to try to make this nice round ball like this with your hands. And this is what amazes me, people who has a lot of practice, like they use both hands and they make it really, really quick. So you can start by
You're welcome.
so it's like this. The seam is down, and then the little balls in there, and we're gonna leave them rest. Like we're supposed to cover them and with the same, and then leave them to rest like for around 10 minutes. So you have more flour here on a plate, and then we're gonna start with the first ones. So what you want to do, like they're going to puff a little bit, so you want to press on them, and then we're gonna cover them in flour, and then Nacho's gonna show you
Okay,
how to do
so
this.
once you do that, you press the whole bowl down, and from the middle up, you want to start pressing
If you can zoom it.
and roll it. Okay, you're gonna roll it like that. Okay, so once you roll half of it, okay, you're gonna start rolling it around and get it in back. Okay, once you have it here, you press the sides and you bang it a little bit. I mean, you stretch it a little bit and you put it in the tray face down. Okay, so then Susana is gonna do the other one.
Okay, so remember, first I'm gonna pass it through a little bit of flour. This is very like also, you know, that is the pan francés because
Exactly.
it has this.
That is what makes this bread so unique.
Upside down, and then I put them on the tray.
Okay, and I'm gonna do the next one.
And then, so after you make all these shapes, like you finish with the last one, and then you start putting them in the right.
To the other side.
We'll show you how.
Okay, so remember, this is the only bread that you roll.
And if you want, you can make it in like bigger portions. But I think like this one, the 90 grams is a good size, you know, to have.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we're gonna keep on doing that. We're gonna do it a little bit more fast.
and in the video that we saw, like they made them.
Oh yeah,
two.
they made 2 at a time. Okay, so perhaps if you do it that much, you will have that experience, and you can also do it.
And then you have to let them rise again around 30 minutes, so they will be nice and
fluffy.
and fluffy.
Okay.
Our bowl here, like this. Now we're going to turn them the right way. You do them like this, like upside down first, so the shape will stay. Because if you put them like directly upside down, like the right way, they will unfold. So like this. And then we're gonna let them rise.
Okay, a very good place to let them rise. Remember that you already have your oven on, so just put it on top of the stove and cover it with a cloth.
Yes.
Okay, and that process, I mean, the longer that you leave it there, the better that it's gonna be, because they're gonna have time to rise, and of course they're gonna rise more when you bake them, but you want fluffy and crusty and delicious bread. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna clean here.
So we can show you. It's the oven is at 350, which is 180 Celsius, and it has to be really on temperature before you put them in. To just keep looking at them until they're nice and golden.
Exactly. Remember to get your overflow. Okay, so magic of TV. We already have our pan francés over here, and it smells amazing. I'm gonna show it to you. Oh yes.
Let me show you this one.
You see?
This is the white part that it stays because of the last flour that we put. And this bread, it's like it has a nice crust on the outside, but it's very soft on the inside. Lo volvemos a intentar. Mira nada más.
Oh, y aquí Susanita está haciendo unos lunches de jamón. Okay, so this is the pan francés. I hope that you guys like it. Send us any more questions if you have some, while Susana is doing a lonche de jamón. Oh my God, yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Here the smell is amazing. I'm gonna open one bread for you, and I'm gonna cut it for you to see how it is, okay? So perhaps we're not gonna be able to make it as big as las panaderias over there in Mexico, but as you can see over here, it's so fluffy and
Oh my goodness. So I put a little bit of mustard, ham, tomato, avocado. I like mine with a lot of onions. And then these serrano peppers, which are
peppers,
and then
and
a little bit of
salt.
And then we have already a line here of ordered. Okay, so then you put the top, and then we're gonna cut them in half. And one half is for you, and one half
Yes,
is for me.
of course. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some tips on how that you can use pan francés. Okay, cut it in half, and you can do a mollete. Put refried beans on one side of each of one of them, shredded cheese, and then stick it back in the oven for about 5 minutes till the cheese is melted. Molletes are so good. And then you can do tortas, and you can do a lot of things with it. When you have soups, chicken soups and stuff like that, it's just amazing to dip.
Or just like this, just put some butter and jams. And,
Oh yeah, and
it's
toasted
super
is
good.
very good.
Or a torta de huevo.
Oh yeah, an egg torta is super good as well.
And we will enjoy this. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you make this.
It's so
bread.
good.
Thank
Okay.
you.